Hello, Kinsey teachers. In this video, I'm going to show you the general workflow for creating your own activity. A little caveat here, there are literally hundreds of ways and different kinds of activities that you can make. But we'll just do one example so you can see the basic workflow. So from my home screen, I'm going to click Add, and I'm going to go to Assign Activity. It is important to know that the only place where you can actually create your own activity from is the My Library tab, not the community or the school and district library, but this tab right here is the only place you will see this Create New Activity button. So I'm going to click that, and I'm going to name the activity. And so I guess for this activity, for this example, we're going to have students read a book on Epic, and then they will respond to a graphic organizer. So and the topic we're going to search for, or we're going to do the activity on, is Orcas, a nonfiction book, and we're just going to call it Read and Respond. So now before I type my directions or instructions in this box, and I can type text directions, I can also record voice instructions. I really want to make sure we talk about these two items right here, the add multimedia instructions or example, and add template for student responses. I typically use this a lot for exactly that, an example, a video example of how exactly I want students to complete the activity, or a really great way to utilize this feature, this button here, is to put a link in here for students to access some kind of outside resource. That is different from the template for student responses. The template is what the students are actually going to use to respond to your activity, and you can let the students kind of choose their own template by putting in a photo or a video, or you can set a template for them to respond to in the drawing tool. So that's what we're going to do for this activity. So when I click Add Template for Student Responses, here's all the different choices. A student can do a photo, they can do a video, they can put in a link or a note. But since I'm the teacher and I'm setting this up for them, I'm going to actually upload a template for them to edit on top of, and I'm going to do a PDF. So I'm going to go ahead and click. It is also important to know that when you do upload something, it's automatically going to put it into this drawing tool so that students can edit over the top of it, basically, or annotate over the top of it. I'm going to click Upload. I'm going to select from my computer. You can also select from a Google Drive. And I'm going to do this main topic and paragraph PDF. Okay, so I put this PDF in here. So this is what the students will respond using. Now, I would envision them using like a pencil tool or a text tool to type. Now, the one thing you will probably think to yourself immediately is, man, how would a student write or type in that? So you can train and teach your students to be able to use this zoom feature so they can zoom and move around and be able to write and type in space so it makes more sense, and they're able to really put content into these areas in a way that makes sense, that's not too small or anything like that. So don't worry about that. Even if you have a smaller graphic or something, students can still zoom in on the canvas and do some really neat things with it. So now it went ahead and it automatically put in this graphic organizer, and it locked it for me, which is exactly what I want. So that is what the students are going to respond to. Perfect. And so now I attach that template to the activity. Now, how about getting to the actual book that they're going to read? I'm going to use this instructions or example box here, and that's how I'm going to get them to the activity to read the book, and they're going to do that on Epic. So I'm going to go ahead and go here, and I'm going to click a link, and so now it just needs the website, the URL for that. So here's my Epic book, and I just searched for Orcas, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this this page right here. So I want them to come to this page so that they can read this book and hit play and have it read aloud to them. So I'm just going to click up here, and I'm going to copy that link, Control C. I'm going to paste it, Control V in here, click the check mark, and there it is right there for them. So yeah, so that's great. Now, the one thing I kind of wish is I wish I had a better picture for them to click on. So maybe I could take a screenshot of the book and put it in here and then link it that way. There's a lot of different ways you could do that. and because you can make basically anything a link in Seesaw. So now when I click the check mark, now I have the template that the students will type on, and I also have the link that they're going to click on to get to that. So let's go ahead and let's add directions. I'm just going to say 1, click the link to read a book about orcas. Step 2, use the template to tell me the main idea and details of the story. Perfect. So there's my voice. There's my text directions. I'm going to go ahead and add voice directions real quick. 1, click the link to read a book about orcas. 2, use the template to tell me the main idea and details of the story. And all right, there's my video, or there's my audio directions. Sounds great. I'm ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and click save. All right, so and then it's going to place this activity right in my library. And if I go back to my library, there it is right here. So now I'm going to assign it real quick, just so you can see really quick. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to assign this to a sample student in we'll do the sample student in our class here. All right, so I'm going to assign that to our sample student. Here's what it looks like for them. So when they go to this activity in their activity feed, here's what it's going to look like. Here's my directions, my audio directions, and they're not going to see all this stuff as a student, right? The responses, that's for the teacher, but they can click this link right here, and it's going to take them right to Epic, so they can read the book. Perfect. Love it. After they would read the story, then they would go here to add response, and it's going to take them right here. And now I can zoom in. Let's see here, and I'm going to say, put a text box right here and say the main topic was orcas. I'm going to create that, and I can make that big. And I can change the color of it, do all those things that students like to do. And now they can click and move down here, and they're ready to type in here their details of the text. Let's just say, and the really amazing thing is they can type, they can take a picture, they can record a video and put those anywhere on this document. So let's just type, let's just say, how about, we're going to say, orca babies are called calves. I can resize that. I can zoom back out. So you see that even though the space is really small, I can zoom in and use this tool to be able to make my work neat and presentable. And I could take a picture, I could upload a picture or video in here. When I'm done, I'm going to click submit or click the green check mark. It's going to upload my response. And there, now my teacher is ready to view and approve, give me feedback on this activity. So that is the gist of creating activity. You have your activity title, you have the directions, both text and audio, and then remember the difference between the example and the template. The template is what students are going to actually edit and work on to submit the work, and there's a lot of different things you can do with the example link. And in this case, I used it to put in a link to an outside resource. You can put in a picture. You can show an example of exactly what you want students to do. A lot of different choices there.